I'm Trevor Spence. I now work mainly voluntary as the Chief Executive Officer of Boys Town. And this year, I'm actually celebrating 50 years of involvement in the YMCA and Boys Town, because I came, unlike most persons, through the Kingston YMCA.
Okay.
Because Boys Town is considered a project of the government of Jamaica under the management of the Kingston YMCA. 84 years of celebration, and I have been involved in it for 50 years this year, and in different roles, not as much before the last 15 or 20 years that I'm more involved here. It's all about youth development. So the core mission is to create useful citizens of the children and the young people in the community. And it was set up as a sort of demonstration of what could work. The interesting issue is that it has worked and has produced some of the sports, cultural, business leaders, but politics have sort of shifted it away from letting it manage on its own, so that it operates mainly by voluntary assistance and neither from funding from government.
Okay.
And we have to look at projects from the private sector and other donors.
Okay.
Right. But we still strive following the three things of body, mind, and spirit. And so in the body development, it's the basic sports and the nutrition program. As the founding director, Father Sherlock said, hungry children can't learn. And so that's the body. The mind is in the educational program, and there are several of them, including the primary and infant school, the training of the vocational training industry. One of the projects and the story is that we were losing almost all the young people after primary school at the age 15. who were not at the time getting into high school. I think generally speaking, by the time the girls came out of school, they were getting pregnant, and the boys were joining community gangs. And so we designed a 15 to 18 youth development program that got some of the local government agencies involved, but mainly the Canadian government. And we had an example that this was among one of the best projects that made a difference in young people's life. And there are so many examples of so many lives that were changed. One of the young persons, and unfortunately she died since then, was that she already had 2 children at the age of 15. And the community said she wasn't going to come out to anything. But she transformed into one of the leaders. Sorry, she had reasons she was cut off in an early age. But there are literally hundreds of examples of that change in focus. And when the young men come to the program, the community honored youths and gangs don't trouble them. In fact, one of the interesting things is the gangs would say, the leaders, my only opportunity was to go to Sunday school. So you are now getting this opportunity to come to this school, make the best use of it. And we had to sort of tone down on some of their disciplinary action. Most of our work is on group. And so there was the mentorship side, of getting, because almost all the musicians out of the 60s, 50s, 60s, and so on have affiliation in Trenchtown, have affiliation with Boy Scout. Almost the heroes in the sports world have affiliation with Boy Scout.
So you would
we brought them to interact with those groups and in the group mentorship. And outside of that, because Fathers Inc., other groups who were working would come in and you use practical demonstration of introduction to skills, introduction to socialization, introduction to remedial education, and it worked. Yeah, so
one that stands out to you.
One stood out for me because at one point I would try to invest with the money to give entrepreneur a chance. And I went to a location where somebody was running bar tuck shop. And I went to order a drink. And the person came out and hugged me up and said, "Buddy," and I said, "I know your face, but I don't remember the details." Said, "You gave me the first $20,000 to start this business. And see, that's where I am now." And it's that among other things, because I talk about opportunities, and really what a lot of young people need is the opportunity. Sometimes it's resources, but that chance to make something of their life is what is important. When we can share the sort of contributions, either directly to Boy Scout or through the YMCA, is one of the most modern systems.
Here at Boy Scout, right?
Not just at Boy Scout, in using. This was one of the best kept secrets. And then we could not afford the electricity. So we lost electricity. And it became a dust bowl. And each time we made an attempt to pay the electricity bill, we fall back in. And most sports clubs were going through the same problem. So for almost 8 years, we were without water from the well because we couldn't pump that water. And I made one of the decisions with the board that I cannot any longer depend on trying to work on JPs. So we needed a solar solution. When we got the rest of it, Konnexx made the adjustment of the system, came in, modified, installed the system, help us with the training, and we are going to have what I am hoping is a training day tomorrow as a start, which will be adopted as a partnership project. The water that comes from the well, we are only licensed for irrigation water. And we are also talking with Konnexx if we can get some help for us to get licensed for potable water. So Konnexx is more than a service provider. It has become a very important partnership to what we are doing. And I showed interest in our sporting program, in our educational program, and we are very grateful, as I said, to Mr. Nevels and the entire Konnexx team, who it was too much to say all the names, because everybody adopted Boy Scout as a part of that.
Beautiful.